And I feel so sorry for the family. All of these years, they hold their vigils every anniversary, and they're still holding out hope, and her mother is getting so elderly, and her health is not the best, and I hope that somebody finds out before, so she can be at peace when she goes or something, Oh, Daniel says, maybe you folks need Amy Allen to visit. Well, yeah.
Why not?
Let her come on in. I welcome any of the people. We did get a name one time, and we're trying to research and find out who this person is, but we did get a name recently of Martin Kimber, and I'm trying to find the relevance of him in this town. I haven't found it yet, but there was a lady who, way back in the 1800s, her name was Mrs. Kimber. She was a to-do in the town, and I have not yet been able to come across who her husband is, because if it's Martin, why is that name coming across here at the jail,
It's pretty interesting.
And, yeah, because I think that there is some unrest here, because either there's more stuff to locate, or she's trying to tell us and is being prevented from telling us. So there's a little bit of unrest with Nancy, and
the communication with her is always kind of desperate. Like, she's really trying to communicate with us. She really wants to talk to us and let us know what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm hoping...
It's always very strong evidence while we're down there.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we get a breakthrough here soon. We keep plugging away at it. Either somebody's going to tell us, or
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, or they're going to get really angry that we keep after them. Oh, and Daniel said that Amy Allen would be great, the best person to talk to Nancy since she's capable. Yes, I think so. That would be great. I would welcome anyone, because I really do think that we should help figure this out, because I think they're trying to tell us.
Yes.
And
different minds have different viewpoints and abilities, and
can take in the different energies, and
Correct.
read better, or communicate better, And the name was Martin Kimber. Daniel asked in the chat what the name of the man was. Martin Kimber. And we got that name when we were talking to the sheriff in the 3rd floor. The sheriff did not say that name. It was another male entity that said that name. I'm hoping we get some more answers. And it doesn't... At first, I thought maybe the sheriff knew. But as time goes on, I don't think he was involved.
He might not have known at all.
I don't think so, because I don't think he was. Oh, I tell you, there's a lot of spirits here, Daniel. He says Amy would also be able to filter all the spirits there and make them known. That would be fantastic. We know there's many of them.
There's quite a few.
Yes, there are. And we get new ones. We get our same ones that'll talk to us, and then we get new ones all the time. And some of them will be here for a little while, and then some of them we won't see them again for a while.
Right.
And with that, folks, we will be right back after this short break with more Ghost Talk. You're listening to WBHM DB out of Birmingham, Alabama.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
23 minutes past the hour, y'all. Welcome back to Ghost Talk Radio with me, Shelly Robertson, as your host. If you just tuned in tonight, I am joined with Kristin Boyd. We've been discussing some personal experiences, and we're also going to go over some current events and some things we're finding interesting. We invite everyone to share your experiences with us in our live chat at wbhm-db.com. And be sure to post any questions you may have for us in all capital letters. That way, they stand out and we can get right to them. We have been talking about the Nancy case here at the jail. But there's quite a few other baffling happenings here at the jail, too. Like, there is an entity that doesn't like the lights. Lights get turned off. There's some that like the lights. Somebody turns lights on. We get equipment disappearing. We get items appearing that didn't belong to anybody, that is just astounding. We had an SB7 scan radio show up one time, and
just out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere, just there it was. It didn't belong to anybody. So we're kind of confirming, that's what you do with research. You try to duplicate and replicate all your research findings and your experiences, and you want to do that and have it peer reviewed, and you want it to happen over and over and over so you can finally come to a conclusion.
Yep.
On what that's validated correctly. Mm-hmm. So one thing we have been able to prove, we all think it anyways, and we know it happens, but one thing we have been able to prove recently is that the spirits follow you.
Yes, they do.
We have actually been successful at validating this with one of these spirits that was not originally at the jail, but he's been with us now, maybe a year. Steve and his little boy, Matt. We went to a different location recently, and we were running a spirit box, and Steve and Matt chimed in and said they came from the jail with us.
Called us there.
Yes.
Wanted to chit-chat a little while.
Yep, so they talked to us there, and when we left, I'm like, come on, boys, come on back to the jail. We don't want you standing around here. But what did you think what went through your mind, Kristin, when they started chiming in?
It was kind of astounding, actually, to think that, you hear of that kind of stuff happening, them following you home, but until you actually experience that, we go out, we do this other investigation, and here we are thinking we may be making contact with new entities, new spirits.
Yes.
And here we're making contact with ones that we talk to on a regular basis. Evidently, they were curious. They wanted to see what we were doing.
What are we doing?
Yep.
So it was like, wow. I was looking forward to hearing some new ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's okay to talk to us, Matt and Steve, if you're listening right now.
Well,
it's okay.
Sure. We love talking to them, too.
And we never know, because we never know who's listening around here.
Yep.
And so you just make them known, I guess. And we talk nicely about them.
We do our best.
Yes, we do. So what would you say, Kristin, has been your scariest encounter?
My scariest encounter ever. 2 places come to mind. One in particular, I would have to say, would be a visit at Waverly Hills. And we were doing a tour, and we went to the operating room, and, the tour guide was explaining everything around us, and I started feeling really sick. I started overheating and sweating, and just, I felt like I was going to pass out. I had no idea what was wrong with me. And as we walk out into the hallway, she's still talking about all the things that happened, and I'm still feeling ill, and she started describing that there was a known demonic spirit that tended to visit that area.
Oh, my.
And described it as like this 7-foot black mass that could overcome you, keep you from talking, being able to see or moving. And then it dawned on me, everything that I have read, because I have done lots of research, that those were the classic signs of being in the presence of a demonic spirit. And that is one of the very first times, and so far the only time, that I have had those kind of reactions to any place that I've ever been. And, they were terrifying. Don't get me wrong. I had no idea what was going on. It was kind of terrifying, but yet it was also intriguing. Because it was something that I had never experienced before, and now I have an idea. So if I ever come across something like that again, and I feel that way, I know that a demonic or evil spirit...
recognize what's happening. Yep. We had a question in chat. Daniel asked, if the spirits here turn off the same lights or different ones throughout the building? Well, I will tell you, most of the time, it's the same areas that get turned off and on. They like the little hallway right there in front of the first floor cell block, and the staircase to the second floor cell block. And they've played with the lights most often in the front room too. So those are the areas that they most frequently mess with the lighting. and actually, that little hallway area right in front of that first floor cell block, all kinds of things happen there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just waiting to catch more than the shadow ghosts. I'm waiting to catch the full Monty ghost apparition there at some point, So far we have not got only but the shadow spirits, but and we don't see anything at all when this stuff is happening. Like,